there. Yeah, today's just going to be a short one. I want to talk about theme. Okay? Well, let's not write anything just yet. I'd like to talk for a little bit. Now, the theme. When you go to come up with a theme of a story, sometimes, yes, it is stated as a moral, which is a lesson that we were supposed to have learned. When y'all read as little children Aesop's fables, if you recall, remember the fox and the grapes when you were in second grade? Yeah, the one about the turtle in second grade as well. When you were reading your Aesop's fables, the moral was always stated at the very end, and that was the lesson that you were supposed to have learned. As you grow up, in the stories we read, you aren't always going to have so much a lesson learned. When it comes to theme, you're really going to try and find out why the author wrote the story. What was the purpose of writing a story like a book? Yeah, what was the purpose of writing Hurricane Taylor? So when you go to think about what your theme is going to be, how you're going to put it into words, get it into just one sentence, there are some things that I want you to think about, okay? So to find the theme of a story, I want you to look at the events in the story. I want us to look at the actions that the characters have to do to try to overcome difficulties. So let's think about these two things. We're going to think about events, and we are going to think about the actions of characters to overcome difficulties. And I think for this second one, let's focus, of course, on Taylor, and let's focus on Grandpa. Okay? And let's focus on, keep in mind that the title of the story is Hurricane Taylor. Okay? Which came about by the way she was when she was a baby. But I think will be meaningful when we get a theme up on the board today. The events of the story, can we all agree that there's a vacation with a hurricane? Yeah?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Okay. So we have a vacation with hurricane. Which family member is missing from this vacation as well?
Daddy.
No dad.
No dog.
Dad is away. He's overseas. He is at work. We do not have a dad. Yeah, we did get a description of Mom. And now we know why that description was important. Mom really can't use tools. And this hurricane, which has turned into a Category 1, is coming our way. Yeah? And at that point, as you may be hearing on the news, in Biloxi, Mississippi, they are terribly worried about an 11-foot storm surge. Yes, ma'am.
May I blow my nose?
Yeah.
Also, in Mississippi,
Hold on, she's still talking, yes?
also, is, like, what's the highest level of a hurricane?
5.
5.
I thought that was the same. That could tear
5.
down buildings.
It's 5. You go for wind on that one.
I got my stuff.
Did you tell her? Thank you so much.
Wait, what's a storm surge?
Storm surge is the winds whipping up the water like they're doing right now in the Gulf of Mexico with Hurricane Sally. Remember we looked at her track yesterday?
Wait, is there a storm surge in Hurricane Taylor?
Yes, because remember the part of the peninsula that they were on suddenly became an island because the waters were rising. So right now, Hurricane Sally is churning, yeah, the waters of the Gulf of Mexico. And y'all know how it is when you throw a pebble into anything of water and the ripples happen. Well, imagine you just throw a big old mountain in it and then the big giant ripples happen, right? So they are worried about storm surge right now. They are more than equipped to handle a Category 1 wind thing. It's that storm surge that's so devastating. We're still trying to get to our theme. Yes, ma'am.
Can we look at the track that's on today?
Can we what?
Can we look at the track that's on today?
Well, let's do our theme. Yes. Yes. This is, unfortunately, we pretty much nailed it down to it's either a 5th or an 8th grader doing it. So we'll have to investigate that. Okay? Messing with our sinks. But Miss Becky knows. Thank you. Cammie handled that one. We have a vacation with a hurricane. We don't have a dad. We do have 2 adults there. We're going to Grandpa's, and we have Mom. And now we know that it was important. We weren't just being mean to Mom. It was important to know that Mama does not know a hammer from a wrench. It was important to know that Mom's not handy. So, who are we relying on? Taylor and Grandpa. But who gets hurt? Grandpa. So who has to save the day? Taylor. This is not what she was planning on. When she was planning on vacation with a sailboat, learning all those knots with the sailor's rope, not what she was planning on at all. Okay? Oh, was I punny again? I get punny and I don't even realize it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, we can try. The actions of characters to overcome difficulties. Our focus for our characters, I think we can all agree. Grandpa. Yes?
Yep.
Doing the best he can. Having a plan. Not quite able to follow through with his whole plan because he fell and got hurt. And now Grandpa is relying on who appears to be his best buddy, someone he feels is very capable. Grandpa's relying on Taylor. Okay. So for this one, when we have danger coming, when we need to go and get help, sometimes you might be surprised of who emerges, who comes about as that natural born leader. Even the person might be surprised. Like, I didn't know I could handle a situation like that. What? I saved the day? Are you kidding
Maybe
me?
the little sisters or maybe the mom.
I want to look at that last little bit when we get the title to our story. Let's see here. Not 21. So I'm going to go backtrack a little bit to bottom of page 22. If you want to read along, you can, but we've read it. I just kind of want to highlight it. Fellas, I don't know what y'all are doing with the paper, but let's pay attention to this. Later, Taylor watched the Coast Guard rescue boat speed through the gathering storm to pick up her mom and sisters. She and Grandpa sat in the gas station office with big, comforting mugs of hot chocolate, watching the whole world through rain-spattered glass. So, Grandpa, is this your idea of a baby hurricane? Taylor asked. Okay, now we know why he told her a little story about when she was a baby. She called it a baby hurricane. Let me ask you this. Hurricanes, I don't care what number they are. Would you say that hurricanes are strong or hurricanes are weak? They're strong, no matter what number they are. They're strong, okay? Keep that in mind. Grandpa's face crinkled in a grin. I guess you don't know babies very well. At least a certain baby. I'm sure you don't remember this, but when you were a little bitty infant, Taylor, well, let's just say you knew how to kick up a serious fuss. He smiled broadly, kind of like a hurricane. When we read that the first time, our focus was that she was a super fussy baby. Remember? Yeah. We even mentioned how she might have been a little bit like Leo and Lester from Like a Book, where she was just a holy terror running through that house.
Unholy.
Okay? But let's focus on why Grandpa's bringing this up right now, after mainly Taylor, but also Grandpa just saved the day. When, for Grandpa, did Taylor start acting like and having the strength of a hurricane? How long has it been since she's been like a hurricane, that strong?
11, I think.
Yeah?
When her grandpa fell.
When her grandpa fell, but go back. What did he just say? Ever since she was a little baby, let's not focus on the fussy part right now, but ever since Taylor was a little baby, she's been as strong as a hurricane. Now, even if it was being fussy and she was a little baby and it might have hurt our ears, but Taylor has always had strength, hasn't she?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think she knew? Did she ever tell us in this story, oh, hurricane's coming, storm surge, we're on an island. I got this. Did Taylor ever have like a big ego being like, Taylor's here, never fear? Did she do that?
No.
Absolutely not. Do we sometimes not know the strength and the leadership that we may have? Sometimes we don't know that. Keep that in mind. Taylor's natural, innate, she's born with its strength and her leadership skills to get her family through a crisis. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
I know there's a Taylor in the other class, right?
Yes. 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 We were liking the title of this one. Yes, ma'am.
So can we have the test tomorrow?
No, we got something else to do tomorrow.
What?
Okay, for Taylor, can we focus on her strength that Grandpa tells us is like a hurricane? And that strength gives her leadership skills. Do we agree with this statement that's on the board?
Yeah.
Wait, I heard a kinda. Why is it weak then? Why is it weak, not like a hurricane?
Like, how does being like a hurricane give you leadership skills?
The strength she has to pull her family through a crisis. When Grandpa fell and got hurt, they didn't give up. You know who really didn't give up? Taylor. I'll go with you, Grandpa. We got this. We can do this. I'll go with you, Grandpa.
Conversation
Okay.
to a PTA meeting.
But the thing is, what I really love about Taylor is she didn't have this big giant ego. She wasn't in the beginning of the story thinking, I know I can save the day. I'm the most awesome person in the world. Yeah, it's like her strength surprised her. So let's try to get this into one sentence. How people can have a hidden strength that maybe they didn't know about that can be surprising, where they can emerge as a leader. They become a leader with hidden strengths. How do we want to word our sentence for theme? Yes, ma'am.
You could say, Taylor is trying to fight a hurricane that comes.
Yes, but let's talk about her strength and her leadership skills.
Taylor's strength is like a hurricane, and it gives her leadership. Oh, no, that's what you said.
Did she know she had the strength?
No.
She did not.
Her unborn strength gave her leadership skills.
Unborn, I think we're going with innate. Her strength was something she was born with, particularly when she finds out from Grandpa that she was as strong as this when she was a baby. Let's go for hidden strengths. Let's start right there. These hidden strengths that we might have. Some of y'all may have discovered a hidden strength that you've already had in your life. When that happens, did it kind of surprise you that you were that strong? So hidden strengths, like Taylor has, hidden strengths can, you want to go with be surprising? How do you want to word it?
Can hidden strengths sneak up on you? Can be surprising, I guess.
Okay.
Can sneak up on you?
Well, then that sounds like they're sneaky Pete ones. Can be surprising. And can these hidden strengths make you a natural leader?
Yes.
And make you a leader.
And make you a natural leader. And make you okay.
And okay, actually.
And make you have natural leadership.
All right, now you know why I wanted to add natural there? Some people go to college, take classes, study to learn leadership skills. But other people don't have to study. It comes naturally to them.
That's what my mom had.
Yeah?
She didn't have
So
to
that's
study.
why I think natural leader is important there. Taylor is not reading business self-help books of how to win over people and manage them correctly. She's not learning how to be a boss. She's just naturally a good one. Get that down. Get this theme down. That's what you should write. Yes, sir.
Like on the bottom of page 20, you see one of the girls is writing. She may be a writer, and the other girl is up on there with the Barbie doll. She may
Yes.
be like a fashion designer.
But look at what Taylor's doing.
She's a
Paying
natural.
attention to that weather radio.
Yeah.
That natural leadership. Matt?
She may be a word.
Yes, ma'am.
Two things.
Uh-huh.
First, where did you have to put hidden strengths can be surprising and can make you?
You can say can, yeah.
But
uh-huh.
also, do we write this in our composition or do we write this in our P-Lab?
Where would it be better for you?
Composition.
Okay. This is a good theme. If you reword it, just make sure you have the same meaning, okay? So, yes. With
So
your
we
mask
just write
on,
the
though,
sentence or
properly.
do we write everything on the board?
Just the theme. That work was us just having our discussion, getting to our main point.
But not our questioning
Like
yet,
a
right?
freeze.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Can we look at the chocolate?
Oh, say what?
Hurricane Sally's going on?
No, we can't. We got another thing to do. Yes.
The bathroom is really
Okay. Then they haven't stopped right now. Okay.
Oh, I know how one of our sisters would have said the book, the title did. Hurry and Taylor.
That's right. Hurry and Taylor.
Like a hurry.
This is the thing. If you've not been through a situation where you have emerged as a natural leader, where you have uncovered your hidden superhero strength, trust me, the situation is going to happen. And it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be a hurricane about to hit. It can be, let me tell you what happened yesterday. Yesterday, one of my children over-poured a cup of orange juice. Put then a couple of pieces of ice to make the orange juice level rise in the cup. And then sat about in the kitchen on the counter with the orange juice and started looking at our caterpillars because we're trying to get some butterflies, probably moths, out of these suckers. And she spilled the orange juice. Now, I have a lot of people in my house. My husband comes in and he is a natural born leader, but not when it comes to things like this. He wants to know whose fault it is. By the way, the orange juice is spilling everywhere. Like, I'm saving computers, I'm saving the hamster, you know what I'm saying? I'm saving the the little wormy things,
Caterpillars?
right? Thank you. The wormy things.
You're welcome.
I call them wormy things.
Oh, wormy.
Then, the other child starts freaking out like it's the end of the world.
The boy or
My
the girl?
boy. So he's freaking out. My husband wants, like, who did this? My girl, who spilled it,
Crying.
no, got every single napkin. Now I had a lot of laundry to do after this, so it's fine. every single napkin, got all of the kitchen towels out of the cabinet, and just plop, put them on there. Started soaking it up, started rubbing. Yes, it went a little farther. She's learning how to clean, but she handled the situation. And I finally took a step back, because let's face it, it's just orange juice. We're not going to die. And I said, let me just tell y'all, she is the only qualified person right now to be an EMT, to be that person working in an ambulance, because she is the only one that can handle a crisis. You wanted to blame someone. You are freaking out like this is acid about to kill us and eat us. She went and got a washer full of my kitchen towels to start cleaning it. Did she spill her orange juice? Yes. But did she immediately know what to do and how to fix it? Yes. And I think she surprised herself.
Pardon this interruption. Teachers, the middle school bathroom is closed right now because we've had 2 overflowing sinks. So you'll just have to make them hold tight for a little bit. Thank you.
And
One time, I was with my cousin, well, my great cousin, because she's my dad's cousin. And she had to go to the store, and she has 2 kids. One of them was born just last year,
yeah.
and then the other one's 3 years old. And she left me in there with him because she had to go to the supermarket. And then the young one started crying, like really, really loud.
Oh no.
He has like a high-pitched scream, and he started screaming and crying. And then the 3-year-old, he started crying and was like, she's crying too loud. And then he started screaming.
Hey,
And nothing was working.
can't do a press conference right now, and you can put your hands down because you can't go to the bathroom.
I don't want to.
I need to explain to
So
you.
I can't put can where it says can make.
Hey, I need to talk about this first. You can't go to the bathroom, so can you wait?
Yes.
What you need? I can't know the story. What do you need?
I don't have any like colored pencils or anything.
I haven't even told you what I need for you to do. I'm just trying to help. That's why I had to delay.
You gave me 2.
That's why I had to delay the 5th grade press conference that you so enjoy having. No, sir. No, sir. It is not time for the 5th grade press conference where we ask 1,000 questions.
Or tell stories.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So many.
I have been through many of 5th grade press conferences. You may hold all of your questions
You know our
in your
life
press
stories
conference
now.
until the end. And now, may I please have your attention? I have just given you the only 2, do not ask for another, the only 2 t-shirt templates that I'm going to give you. Because I want you to learn how to plan and organize for a project. So, here is why, don't let me talk. Here is why, no, we're not cutting. Listen to me and let me give directions. Parker, put up the scissors. Here is why I've given you 2 t-shirt templates, okay? Because you have a front and a back of your t-shirt. Here is why I don't care if you don't have colored pencils, and you certainly may not share supplies. I need for you to think about the design of your t-shirt front and back. No, ma'am. No hands. Allow me to speak. So, you have 2 copies of it. With a pencil, since you're just drafting right now, I would lightly just start thinking about your design and getting your design organized, because any of us who may have tried to design a t-shirt before will tell you sometimes you can't correct that paint mistake, okay? And then you go on to get another t-shirt. So I thought it would be helpful, and I always think it's helpful in my life, it's necessary to start being organized first. Let's make a plan for the t-shirt. So what I'm fixing to do is pull up on the Apple TV the requirements for the t-shirt so we can start thinking, hey, we know we got to get this simple thing down. Where might be a good place to put it? Now let me get the computer out so I can connect to it. Press conference later, press conference later. But we are listening, we are not asking questions. Press conference later. Press conference later. And you already have approved it. Press conference later. At some point, we have to understand that we're interrupting the teacher. Press conference later. Okay, let's pull up our design. If I can figure out how to work my cursor. And oh look, it says my name. Because it used to be my room here. Okay, let's get out of 7th and 8th grade. And let's go to your class. Eventually, there's something we got to work out. Y'all do realize that many people are signing up for both classes and you're only in one. So eventually, we're going to have to block you, okay? So here we are. There's that. Where's our little bookie book report? Here. Shared items. And let's take a look. That's what we want to look at first. Boom, right there. All right, here we go. First thing is, that's not on your t-shirt. That's not on your t-shirt. This is. Right here. Starting with title. The title of your book, the author's name, and your name. That along with any pictures that you might want to put, draw, paint on your t-shirt. We're in your draft right now with your pencil. Let's think about the coolest place, the best placement of these facts right now. Where could we put the title? Am I going to try to do the title? Am I going to try to do the font on my t-shirt the way it looks on the cover of the book? You know how some covers of books are great?
Like this, goosebumps.
Yes. So am I going to try to make it kind of goosebumpy? Because the Goosebumps that is a very recognizable title. Okay? Am I going to try to do that on my t-shirt? All questions at the end. We're not going to start. The author's name. Am I going to do like a book normally does, have the author's name on my t-shirt like somewhere around
Can we hide it?
the title? No questions yet. Okay? Or do I want to put the author's name someplace else? But I can't forget the author's name. Yeah? Characters. Am I really going to try to draw those characters? Or do I just want to write their names somewhere? Got to think about that. Yeah? As I'm reading my book, I got to think of, or I got to find, not think of 2 quotes I like from the book. I think I would choose some super short quotes because I got to get those on my t-shirts. Where am I putting the quotes? And then remember, save me a space for plot. Because as we get closer, which is not today, to our project, I am going to help you take a big giant plot that you probably have written, and I'm going to show you how to put it into a sentence. So, don't work on plot yet. Now, these are the 2 t-shirt templates that I have given you. Otherwise, I am fixing to put them on our Shelby. If you need more for planning, I encourage it, but you're printing off your own. Or Miss Liz will have a cow. You printed how many t-shirt templates? Okay, don't do that, Parker. Now, as you're planning, we will open up the floor to the 5th grade press conference. I am here. I am almost ready. I feel the need for a little coffee break. 5th grade press conference, ready in 1. And go. Yes, sir.